Now we're going to work more on Megan's hips, her hip flexors. We're also going to do some inner thigh work here all at the same time. We're going to do what's called a side lunge. Megan's going to squat down, step out with that left foot, stay low, and then drag that right foot. Okay, now keep going, do another one, step out. Make sure you stay down instead of coming back up. Step out, these are hard to do. There you go. Okay, now let's come back. I want you to step out with your right. Stay down, drag that left foot. Stay down when you're dragging. Step out with your right, drag, and try to step out a little bit farther to give you more room to drag. There you go. Okay. Now, where do you feel that?
When I step out, I feel it more in my hip, and then when I drag my foot, I feel it in my inner thigh.
So you're feeling it on that inner thigh. So what we're doing is we're working one side of the hips, and then we're equalizing and working the inside of that thigh. One of the things that's important for girls, we are seeing a lot of what we call groin injuries. A lot of people think that maybe girls don't have groin injuries, but they really do. That inner thigh muscle is very, very important. If we're only working the quadriceps or we're only working the hips, then we're building strength on the outside but not on the inside. So we want to compensate for that by doing that. Okay, we're gonna add another exercise to work the inner thighs. What Megan's going to do is what I call a pendulum or a crossover. She's going to take your left foot, bring it out, and then bring it across, okay? And then bring it right back. You don't have to go way out, just right back to the start. Go out there and pause. Now, do you feel that on the inner thigh? Okay, I think I'm hurting her. All right, now, you can also see that that's going to be working balance once you can do that. So, if you feel that maybe you can't do that right away, Megan, if you'll go back to the wall, you can do that, do the same thing, and accomplish the same goal by leaning against the wall and having that support you a little bit. Again, we want to compensate, we want to equalize the outer part of our leg with the inside of the leg. Okay, another area that we're going to work is we're going to start to work on her kicks, and then we'll move into her jumping. What we're going to do is we're going to start with a front leg kick. If you'll go ahead. She's kicking, she's working those muscles in that core right there. Now if you'll take those bands and just unbuckle them. So the one thing about the kinetic bands is you can work out before a workout, you can work out at home, you can also do these while you're actually doing your sport-specific training. Okay, let's do those kicks again. Okay, boom. Now you should be able to see the contrast of when she had the bands on and when she took them off. Obviously, she's going to kick higher. The bands were applying resistance, which we're working, which will ultimately build leg strength. That's going to build flexibility and balance. So, what do you feel the difference? How do you feel the difference when you?
I feel like legs lighter, and I can have more room to kick.
Okay, so, okay.
Like I'm not being held back with my kick.
Not being held back. So what we're doing, actually, the resistance is just making those muscles work harder, which then translates into more strength, more flexibility, and when you took them off, then you were able to kick that leg higher. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go into what we call more sport specific. What we just did, we worked the core for what we call generic training for strength. We need to build some power, some explosion so that you can jump higher. And now we're going to work the actual jumps. What I'm going to do is have Megan do some toe touches, and then we're going to see the contrast of when she takes the bands off. Again, the bands are going to restrict her. She will be just slightly out of form until you get a little bit more used to them, but you're going to come right back to your natural sport talent in just a minute. So let's go ahead and do about 3 toe touches. Okay. Good. One more. Are you feeling the resistance? Where does the resistance come into play? What part of your body are you feeling it? Obviously, just when you're kicking your legs out, it's holding you back a little bit.
It's hard to come in together more with my legs at the bottom.
Okay, now let's unbuckle real quick and let's try that. Now we'll show the contrast, so let's go ahead and do them again. Okay. Good. Do one more. Okay, now how does that feel?
A lot lighter.
A lot lighter. So what we really want to do is Megan is feeling that a lot lighter. That is what we call muscle memory. Her muscles don't know that she unhooked the bands. So they still think that she's resisted, and when they realize that she does not have the bands on, then they're going to fly up. The idea is that over time that's going to turn into more strength and conditioning and flexibility. So okay, now let's buckle those back up and let's try another jump. Have you got one that you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
I'll do a right herky.
A right herky. So let's do a right herky. Okay, good jump. Good jump. Okay, now let's unbuckle the bands real quick and do that right herky again. The key here is that Megan is able to push off and that she doesn't have to really sling her arms or throw her shoulders out of place in order to get momentum to go up. It's coming from that core strength. The core that we're talking about is the lower abs, her lower back, her hips, her gluteus or her backside, her hamstrings, and her quadriceps or her thighs. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. Good, good. There you go. Now, how does that feel? That feels different? Kind of the same thing?
Yeah, it just feels a lot lighter, like I can keep it higher.
Okay, so we're not only building the strength, we're building flexibility and balance and form, which is also going to be good when you go into the competition floor and you're very confident and you've got the ability to do all your moves and you're conditioned for it. All of this is about building that core strength, building your confidence, and anything's possible.